Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jesus here with the Van Bros, and today I'm going to be doing a new series. It's called, well, it's a little concept. It's a series about deck concepts that don't necessarily leave deck logs. They kind of just stay in there, and whenever I'm at work and it's really slow and I have nothing but time to kill, I just look over and think to myself, geez Louise, this would be really fun to build, and when I get home, I'm lazy and I don't build it. But I thought, okay, well, as you guys can see, there's a brand new setup. Don't mind the back. I don't, it's messy. What can I do? There's a bunch of card shit there. I'm redoing my binder. Hey, let me know if you want to see my binder. It's pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. Anyways, so this series is mainly for, it's probably going to be just for D Premium. Mainly because it's a one format that I don't really see myself building too often. But it's a fun format, and I really do think this format has a lot of promise. It's a fan-made format, similar to how originally there were the Time Wizard formats before Time Wizard formats like Gold and Edison for Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, but this is more fan-made. This is kind of similar to how like before Commander existed. This format takes the concept of Vanguard D, where you have the new stuff like the new triggers, energy, all that crap, and then you put that into the gameplay of G. No V series stuff, no gifts, no erratas, none of that. None of the busted strides that came out during V's mid to latter years towards the shitty erratas that they did towards, fucking last year or 2 years ago when they actually decided to support premium. Anyways, you guys are probably seeing here I already have a highlight. I'm looking here because that's where OBS is. But as you guys can see, I have D Premium Liael Immorta highlighted. This is a concept that I came up with back like way back. Oh, right here. Literally May 28th, 2025. So scary stuff. As you can see, this list is a little bit more defensive, a little bit more oppressive, and tries to build up on power and draw. Now this is one of the lists that I kind of like was looking into, and I was thinking, oh, this is pretty good. This is not anything similar to the original build I made. I made an original build that was awful. I'm not going to show that off ever because that build was really fucking bad. But this is kind of like closer to the concept that I like for the build. So as you can see here, what am I talking about? So this D Premium list is Liael, the original Liael Immorta, and we're pretty much just using the fact that like she is a perfect guard for herself and Liael. You honestly could also build this list with Liael as the main vanguard, using Liael Immorta as an extra perfect guard. So what this list does, this has two Gabuelias, because even though we're not attacking with this Liael ever, Gabuelias works because Heavenly Law and Glorious Reigning call units during the battle phase, and so you can call your Gabuelias. And because when you stride, that little plus sign right there means that it's this and this plus the name of the unit that it's on top of and its power. Gabuelias being called off of a Heavenly Law or a Glorious Reigning is also treated as being called off of Liael equals Immorta. Faded one of time Liael equals Immorta. And so it's a faded one unit, and it's this unit being called off a faded one. Which is nice because then you can do the whole drive check on rear shenanigans. So, that's pretty much what this is. It's a Gold Paladin base that uses Liael Immorta's PG's abilities to go ahead and one, have a ton of shield because you have 8 perfect guards, but 2 puts back your perfect guards to the deck as well as your heal triggers, because your heal triggers also bind. This is cool because it takes advantage of the fact that, like, back in the day, Vanguard made cards that you were binding to pay the cost of effects for. Similar to how in Yu-Gi-Oh! You had to remove cards from game, not them realizing, oh, let's just use that zone too. So this is actually really cool. I really like the idea of this list. We run 2 copies of Liael because she plays Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, put it to the bottom of the deck, and they get to draw. Cool. Have fun with the draw. We got rid of something that's obstructive, and unless it's like fucking Royals or any other deck out there that can just call it back, or Shadow Paladin. But during the battle phase, it's nice. We have 4 copies of Canarius. Canarius is a 13k beater if you have a Gurgoid and you're in Unite. Unite is having 2 rear guards called at the same time, either to rear or Guardian Circle, so you can have Unite active during your opponent's turn. Canarius does the same thing as Henrinus, except he's a discard. This guy is a Counterblast and a Soul Blast. Canarius is just a discard. Look at the top 3, call 1, put the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. This guy is a Counterblast, Soul Blast. Look at the top 3. When it's placed, both of them can be placed from anywhere. Look at the top 3. Call them to rear, put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. If you have a Gurgoid, specifically for Henrinus, if you have a Vanguard name, Gurgoid in its name, the unit gets 3,000 power until end of turn. So that's nice. These 2 off of each other are really nice. Then we have the 4 copies of Improved Falcon. Improved Falcon is really cool because the drop zone skill that it has is you bind it and a copy of itself face up. Choose 2 cards from in any of your circles other than Vanguard Circle. Chuck them to the bottom of the deck. Look at the top 3. Call 1. And put the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. This card's great because it can put back triggers. It can put back a ton of things that you probably will put back a ton of triggers that you probably want back in the deck. So after that, we run 3 copies of Horsa. Horsa on Unite. Anytime a unit is placed on rear, choose one of your other units in the same column as that, and it gets 2k. This is not once per turn, so every time you call something, it gains 2k, which is nice. It can make some pretty scary columns. Then we run 3 copies of Jeffrey. Jeffrey, at the end of the battle that it boosts, put into the soul, draw. It's a really nice card. Builds up soul, lets you build up a hand. 4 copies of Gorbaduck because you want to stride. 1 copy of Koel because you don't need energy for this build. 4 copies of Blade Feather Dragon. During for D Premium, you can use the newer triggers, and they have the 15k shield and they have the 10k power. Pretty much you're sacrificing the skills that the older triggers have to gain more power. The older triggers are still going to give you 5k power. They still have the 10k shield. So that's kind of the, it's cool because it adds a layer to the game where, like, oh, are they running newer triggers or are they running the older triggers because they want to take advantage of those skills. Anyways, we also run 4 Perobi because you want to have a hand. You don't have to worry about decking out because a lot of your cards kind of just put units back to the deck. The Falcon puts units back. I think that's it. There's another unit that we're going to run in a future build that puts units back to the deck. We run 4 copies of a Vanilla Crit from D. We run 4 copies of the Bind, Soul Charge, Counter Charge, Heal on Geoguardian. We run the Fire Regalis because it's a good card. It does the same thing Gold Paladin does, but just by chucking it. And then we run 2 copies of Becoming a Knight Benefiting the Future. It's a Blitz order. Choose one of your units being attacked. It gets 10k power until the end of that battle. If it's the 3rd battle of the turn, it gets 5k power until the end of that battle. And if it's the 5th battle of this turn or more, it gets another 5k. So this already gets 20k shield if it's the 5th battle. If your opponent's Z-Zone has a face-up card, it's another 10k. So it's a 30k, it's a potential 30k shield in a format that is probably full of stride. So, not bad. Not bad for a card, but we don't run this in the future. You run 1 copy of Ultima, you have to. 4 copies of Helios. He's a really good starting Vanguard because he gets quad check. On GB3, he also can gain 5k for each of your rear guards. And then it also has a kind of a soft guard restrict on your opponent. They can still G-Guardian, and they can still call Great Zeros. So, but because this isn't using the cards from V, no DPGs, so no draw PGs for them, so they have to G-Guard. We run 2 copies of Elise, she's great. 4 copies of Heavenly Law, he can proc your Gabuelius. 2 copies of Glorious Raining, kind of your finisher once you thin out the deck enough. Also procs your Gabuelius. 2 copies of Slay Me Flare. And 1 Dismal. So this is the original list. This is the original concept of it until the new Liael came out. And hopefully if you stuck around, we are about to hit 11 minutes. Now we're going to look into Draconis. So Draconis has quite the shift from the previous list. As you can see, the main thing, we're not running Coel anymore, we're running the D starter. D starters and D premium also give you the energy generator. If you don't run the D starter, you don't get the energy generator, and so you run that one because Draconis works off of energy. Now, I'm not saying that we're gonna ever use the axe skill, but if we ever Ultima don't kill, we can still use the divine skill, which is cool. But anyways, we run 4 copies of the Liael Draconis. She is a stride fodder. She can proc Personarize, so you can give 10k to your front row. But mainly, just she's good for striding and ultimate striding. We run 2 copies of Gabuelius. Like the previous list, we run 4 copies now of Liael Immorta, and this can now become 4 Perfect Guards. We run 4 copies of Religio. We don't run the one that bot decks a unit anymore because this just searches all our grade 3s, and that's just nice. Now, we're probably not going to be binding units like too often, or they're not probably going to stick around in the bind zone for too often, especially Gabuelius. So she'll probably just be at 5k, or like, you know, she'll be at 15k. Probably rarely will she ever be at 20k, but she's still good. Because call hall for her, she's at 18, call of Henriness, and if you Persona Ride, 28. Not only that, but your rear guards give it power, so that's also nice. For Canarius, for Henriness, these are just going to build your field. For Gorbaduck to stride, for Falcon, because the shenanigans of the bind zone. This guy right here. So he's got a GB1 Unite skill. You rest him, choose one of your units, and it gets 4,000 power-ups on the end of the turn. If you have Vanguard with Gurgura in its name, you choose one of your rear guards with a different name as this unit, put it to the bottom of the deck. If you do, draw a card and countercharge 1. It's nice because he also has resist, but he puts back your triggers. You run 4 Blade Feather, 2 Perobi, 4 copies of the Soul and Bind, or the Soul Charge and Countercharge Bind heal. 4 copies of the Scarface Lion because he goes into the soul, draws you a card. It's not the updated version of it. I just like this one because in the off chance you need to build up soul and draw, this guy's there for you. And then we run 2 Gigantic Ringer because he's just really good. You put him to the bottom of the deck when another unit is placed on rear from the deck. If you do, shuffle, draw, and gets 5k, the unit that you called. So this is really nice. G-Zone doesn't change. We got rid of the Dismal and added the GB8, but I don't think that's going to do many differences, or I don't think it's going to do too much. But yeah, this is, again, a concept. Pretty much just an idea that I had that kind of mixes 2 of the things I love about Vanguard, which is Liael. I love Liael. She's so cool. And Gurgwit. Gurgwit is my boy. Don't tell Blaster Blade. But yeah, this is kind of a new series I wanted to start out. As you can see, I have a ton of other lists. I have D Premium Alfred. I have D Premium Magicellar Blaster with the Blaster Blade, the Vanguard. I have some G decks as well. This one is just the GBT13 concept. Honestly, if you guys have any Gabriel lists, I'm going to use this channel to also ask for lists. But if you have any Gabriel lists for just G, no V, no premium nonsense, send them my way, please. GBT-14 Diablo, GBT-14 Liberators, GBT-14 Gurgoid, Outmile, Blasters. What I mean by GBT-14 is that that's the last set that they got support technically because of Ultima. And so this is like just a G version of the deck. We have Bastion coming up, but that's going to be a paper, that's going to be like an actual camera deck profile, so nothing of this. We have Varga, Seraph. I'm not going to profile that. I'm not qualified. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys like this series, and yeah, like, subscribe, share, all that nonsense. All right, thank you.